Well, things got a little crazy over the weekend, and this is what we got going on right now. I really feel like this is kind of difficult, I'm not gonna lie. And there's a bunch of hoses on the bottom. I'm not really sure what any of it does or where any of it goes. It's really making me feel good about this. What a strange concept, standing the motor straight up and down. Big fan of this right here. All right guys, well, slight change of plans. Sam has arrived and he's completely changed our minds about everything. Haven't you, Sam?
Yep.
Pretty much. So he's saying that we need to take the motor out of this thing, and that's gonna make it easier because we have to weld a nut that's gonna be on the oil pump because that is a major issue with these cars. If they live on the rev limiter, it's gonna break, it's gonna fall off, the oil pump's gonna fail, which is bad news. So he said it's easier. We're gonna drop this motor out the bottom. We're gonna put it on a stand. We're gonna be able to clean it up a little bit and then throw some head studs and a head gasket at it and keep jamming. So I felt a little out of my element with this BMW engine and really the whole thing in general. So I called in my buddy Sam at 412 Motorsports, and he's been building these BMW motors for many years now and knows them inside and out, top and bottom, up and down. He told me that he's built over 100 of them, which was crazy to me. So he showed up yesterday. We were basically just gonna do head studs and a head gasket, and he told me that it would be much easier if we just took the whole motor out. And I was very against it at first, and then we did it. The reason for this is because we already have to put the new ACT clutch in it. So the transmission has to come off the engine anyway. And then the way that the engine sits inside the engine bay, you can barely get the head off, especially once you have the studs threaded in there, and it's gonna be very difficult to set the head back on. Plus, this engine has 210,000 miles on it. I've gotten it hot a couple times. Who knows if the head is warped? Who knows what it looks like on the inside? It was worth it just to take the head off and look. So everything looks pretty good on the inside. I'm just gonna run this head down the machine shop, throw a quick surface on it. Then we're gonna start assembling this thing back together. And honestly, to get to this point, it really wasn't that bad. We had the engine sitting on the ground in about 40 minutes after he showed up. So it actually went a lot faster than I thought it would. It definitely looks a little crazy right now, but at least it gives us time to clean everything up, put it all back together the right way the first time. So Sam is the owner of 412 Motorsports, so he builds a lot of really badass BMW stuff. So I felt like I was a little bit over my head with this project, and Sam was nice enough to come down and give me a hand on a Sunday, so thank you very much, dude. And check out 412 Motorsports. These guys make some really cool stuff. So we're gonna keep going. Dude, it doesn't look that bad. Like, it really doesn't.
You know, like, people don't understand that when you do an oil change on time, that's like blood.
Yeah, it's like the best thing you could possibly do is change your oil. Is it loose?
Nope.
Not yet. So that guy right there, once you hold on the rev limiter for too long, that little guy comes falling off of there. Scary.
Look who's back. What do you got?
Back in biz, dog. We got ourselves a shiny boy. A lot shinier than when it left. Shiny boy. Look at her. Bagged and tagged, dog. Freshly decked, freshly cleaned, ready to assemble. 3.6. So this is the head. We just got it back from Engine Supply. It's the same guys locally that did the bottom end of my 2JZ for my E46, my competition car. So what they did was they put a fresh deck on this thing. And what that means is they clamp it down horizontally, they run a machine across it that just barely nicks the surface of this head and just barely takes off a little bit of the aluminum. And what it will do is it will make sure that this head is perfectly dead flat. Maybe once it gets hot or just running it for a long time, the head will slowly start to warp. And what this will do is it will take all the high and low spots out of it. So it just makes it perfectly flat. So we're gonna get the best seal around each one of the cylinders as possible. So when we go to start this thing and start running some booster, it's not gonna blow the head gasket immediately, in theory anyway. So really looking forward to setting this head back on the old block and throw some head studs and a head gasket at it, and she'll be getting closer to boost time. So we are almost ready to swing this M50 motor back into my daily E36 after we've done pulled the head off of it, got the head surface, did a bunch of stuff to it. So of course, I hit up my friends over at ACT Clutch, and we got a full clutch kit for this thing. So this thing can handle over 500 horsepower to the crank, and that's gonna be the clamping power that we need to hold this thing with this power that the turbo is gonna make. I've been running ACT clutches for many years. I ran a twin disc back when I had my V8 240, and now that I have a 2JZ, I'm running their ACT triple. Really good products all around, and I've had really good luck with it, so that's pretty sweet. But now that the motor's back in the car, I'm feeling really good, and now this is my favorite part of the build. I get to do the intercooler charge pipes. I'm gonna mount the intercooler, I'm gonna do a wastegate dump tube, and I'm gonna build the stainless exhaust. Should be pretty sweet. Can't wait for you guys to see the next episode.